And we begin this hour in the Eastern Cape, where severe storms have torn through several municipalities, leaving a trail of destruction. Gift of the Givers has been inundated with calls for assistance as the storms damaged infrastructure, cut off electricity lines and left many residents homeless. Roads have been washed away in some instances, making it difficult to access certain communities. Relief teams are on the ground delivering aid, with disaster management officials assessing the extent of the damage. Let's get you a sense of what else we know and bring in Gift of the Givers spokesperson Ali Sablay, who's with us now via our video link. Ali, thanks very much indeed for making time, especially in this time of need. Help us perhaps take stock of the damage this time around.
Thank you for having me. 9 municipalities, local municipalities affected by the current storms that occurred just past 3 yesterday. And in this morning's job meeting, we can give more information in terms of how the extent of how this storm has affected communities. In the early hour this morning, local authorities had to evacuate residents from one of the villages near the Stadtheim area. There are currently 80 elderly people in the community hall in Stadtheim. In Alice, there are some villages that have been completely cut off, road inaccessible, homes have been partially or completely destroyed. Our teams are stretched out at the moment. We are working with the local authorities to get in much information as possible. As we know, as I said, there's 9 municipalities affected. And while our teams were busy with getting this information through, we were then called by the Joe Karbi District Municipality, who informed us that the areas of Steekspreek, Aliwal North and Maclear is also affected. We have teams there currently on the ground assisting those families with emergency food supplies, blankets and sleeping mat. We are just awaiting more information to come through from the other municipalities before we activate the teams to do relief aid on that side.
Sure. 9 municipalities sounds like quite a vast area, and the sense I'm getting, Ali, is that this is becoming all too common. Was this, did this happen by surprise? I mean, did any of these municipalities, for example, anticipate that there'd be these downpours early this morning?
You know, level warning 2 was issued yesterday morning, but we did not expect the storm to be this severe. When the storm came through, and some of they were trying to determine was it a mini tornado, we did not know it would be this damage where electricity poles have been completely blown away. As we know, in some areas there is 28,000 residents currently with electricity, and in some of these villages, the water treatment plant is dependable on the electricity to pump. So you can just imagine close to over 10,000 people without clean drinking water. Homes completely destroyed. We know national departments of human settlements is en route to the Eastern Cape to see what temporary accommodation and shelter they can provide to the affected families. Luckily, there was nobody caught on with the current of destruction, and it was impossible and for the community members with the speed at which the storm came to save anything. But the municipalities are trying to make local halls available. As you know, schools are closing on Friday. We are trying to get with the authorities some schools available to accommodate, especially the elderly and the children, so that at least they can be in shelter, because the weather, they are still exposed to this inclement weather, making its way through the region.
Yeah. The images that you've managed to share with our team shows that a lot of these homes seem to be in relatively rural settings. I imagine there were cattle and that kind of farming taking place. And in the aftermath of this, a lot of that might have been affected.
Most definitely. There's some residents and small-scale farmers who have informed us already that they have lost some cattle. And you can just imagine the damages and how difficult it will be for them to get back on their feet, because it's their daily livelihood. And then, of course, there's people whose homes have been completely destroyed, their mud houses. They are quite stressed out at the moment as to how they're going to start to rebuild, etc. But local, provincial and national Department of Human Settlements will be engaging with these authorities. We do know the 2 local MBCs of Kokta and Human Settlements will be visiting the disaster sites, but the communities are completely stressed out as there was no warning issued. And from the level warning 2, which was the minimum warning, you could see the destruction it has made already. And with more inclement weather predicted in other parts of the Eastern Cape, teams are working around the clock to inform residents, especially those in the low-lying areas with the rains coming down, to evacuate. But the main concern at the moment is to render the assistance to those families affected. A few families were injured, but they've been taken care of by the health officials. And people are quite stressed out at the moment as they do not want to stay in community halls, they want a place of their own. So we hopefully in the next few days we will get a clearer picture as to how those people will be assisted.
Absolutely. I know you've touched on this at some stage, Ali, but perhaps take us through briefly what some of the main immediate needs are for people perhaps who want to extend a helping hand.
The immediate need is your basic food supplies. To those families who are in community halls, we'll be feeding them for the next 3 to 5 days. We've managed, luckily there was a kitchen in the hall. We managed to get volunteers to cook for these families 3 meals a day. In those family homes that were partially affected, and we are encouraging, authorities are encouraging them to stay at their homes. We'll be providing them with non-perishable food supplies so that they could suit to their families. We are providing bottled water. There's an urgent need for blankets, mattresses, personal hygienic item packs, because with the figures coming through, we'll have to distribute hundreds of these packs to families affected all around this all around the 9 municipalities.
Sure, really concerning indeed. And once again, thanks for all the help that you offer, especially at this crucial time. Ali Sablay, spokesperson for Gift of the Givers, joining us there from the Eastern Cape. Thanks very much indeed.